live. Let's make sure that's actually the case over on Rumble, of course. It's the inauguration of every video, much like the inauguration we're going to be talking about, because Donald Trump knocked it out of the park. The inauguration speech was perfect. He signed a series of EOs, executive orders, of course, and we're going to get into all of that. And also then the legacy media is calling Elon Musk a Nazi because he said, "My heart goes out to you." And he stretched his hand forth in the wrong way. And so they thought that it was a Sieg Heil salute or something like that, which it clearly wasn't, but they're spurging out about it. Taco Woman, Sandy Ravage, Sticks, there's a snow blizzard blanketing Louisiana right now. They're expecting up to 10 inches of snow in NOLA. Last time it snowed like this in Louisiana was back in 1895, exactly 130 years ago. Yeah, again, everything is coincidental. No occultist is currently targeting the state of Louisiana for a good reason. Yes, we've got all sorts of EOs to cover. Mass deportation, wall building, taxes, of course. That involves the legislature more than anything else, but Trump is clearly pressuring the Republicans pretty quickly on that one. Among other things, I've actually got only one article open today. Yeah, we'll be talking about that. Trump signs dozens of executive orders, fulfilling many but not all campaign promises. It'll take him a few days, maybe a few weeks. Give him some goddamn time. I like how they're like, well, he hasn't fulfilled all of his campaign promises on day one. Yeah, that's of necessity. I mean, he can only sign papers so much, you know, when he has to sign blanket pardons and things like that. The J6ers have been pardoned. There was some confusion yesterday over the status of some of them, but Enrique Terrio, he got released as well. He wasn't even there at J6, but they jailed him anyway. Apparently, all you have to do is have an idea that the government doesn't like, and they can still jail you at this point. We'll get to our sponsors actually fairly early. This is going to be a short live stream. I've got other things that I want to do, but I mean, there's no other news to cover. It's literally just all Trump and his executive orders, his first day in office and stuff like that. There's really nothing else to talk about at the moment. Andrew Saberg, Trump fired the commandant of the Coast Guard. Yeah, I thought about joining the Coast Guard when I was younger. I was like, okay, well, you know, it's easier than joining the Marines, that's for sure. Mr. Repurpose, Guten Tag. Guten Tag to you as well. Guten Tag. Get to the chopper. Tuber, Sticks, if you believe in Satan, do you believe in Jesus as a spiritual figure? I don't believe in Satan the way that Christians believe in Satan. Jesus was a good dude. It's too bad more people don't follow his advice. Be a better world. Zhang Hyuk, Coast Guard. No one ever thinks they are part of the real military. Yeah, until a bunch of cartel members decide to come up the coast. Then, yeah. My dad was a Marine. He was a sergeant in the Marine Corps in the Vietnam War. Actually, I've actually got the paper from that, and he did really well, actually. Apparently, the pugil is the most fun part of the Marines. When you're doing those like pugil sticks, and you get to knock people off a log or whatever. Apparently, that's the most fun you can have. I'm sure it's not the food. Yeah, we've got a bunch of EOs to cover. Trump signs dozens of executive orders, fulfilling many but not all campaign promises. And we'll talk about Elon Musk separately. Again, this will be a fairly short live stream as of this day. President Trump, in front of thousands of supporters, jammed inside a Washington, D.C. arena, signs what he calls a series of historic executive orders. Okay, we've got a command to continue building the wall. Texas is helping out with that, actually. Thank you, Greg Abbott. So there's the border wall. Mass deportation plan announced beforehand. And it's like, I think that the real reason is to try to get people that are illegally in the country to simply leave. And so you don't have to do much actual deporting. You just make it a serious effort. And so you tell them, look, you can leave on your own, or we can make you leave. It's probably better to do the former. And so I think that's the basic plan. I think that's the basic scheme. We've got the pressuring of the Republicans on tax relief. We've got all sorts of stuff. Today, I will sign a series of historic executive orders. With these actions, we will begin the complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense. The nation's 47th, and by the way, also 45th, president vowed during his inauguration address Monday at the Capitol. Hours later, Trump followed through with an avalanche of executive orders signings at Washington's Capital One Arena in front of thousands of supporters, a first in the nation's history, and later in the more traditional Oval Office setting at the White House. It's just pure Trump. He's the first president in a new connected world in which you have to govern from the outside in. You have to mount support and bring people with you, veteran Republican strategist Alex Castellanos, told Fox News Digital. Yes, Trump's inauguration promises were a centerpiece of his successful presidential campaign to win back the White House. On day one, I will launch the largest deportation of criminals in the history of America, he said, and he signed the EO. He declared a national emergency along the southern border. He declared an energy emergency, drill, baby, drill, among other things. So wall, energy, deportation, pressuring the Republicans for tax relief and so forth. Ending birthright citizenship will be a little bit more difficult. That's the one sticking point. And the idea that if somebody is born on U.S. soil, of course, they're a natural born U.S. citizen. But that will require a Supreme Court decision. He's forcing the issue. It'll be definitely one of the biggest hallmarks of his presidency, regardless of what the decision is, whether he wins or loses. Personally, I'm conflicted on this. I have a daughter that was born in the Netherlands. She's Dutch. She's also eligible for U.S. citizenship. She can be naturalized because she's got a parent in the United States, namely me. So it's a little bit conflicting. It's like, especially if you're born and raised in the United States, I don't see the problem myself. And I know that I'm going to run up against some of you in the audience, some of you that are watching me on this. But if somebody does come over from Mexico, the fact that they have maybe breached our conduct doesn't mean that the child born on our magical soil, of course, as Ramsey Paul would put it, doesn't mean that they wouldn't be due citizenship. So I'm kind of conflicted on that particular issue. Again, another reason why I can't really be a Republican. They're pretty rock solid on the issue. And all the DEI shit is out in the military, which means that people will finally be recruitable. You mean that I don't have to deal with my bunkmate dilating all night? Oh, well, yeah, maybe the Navy's a good place for me. Military Tamami. Coast Guard vet here. Look at Whistler McGee. It was a big deal in the last CG. That lady had it coming. I haven't heard of it. I'll have to look it up. DM me on Twitter. Yeah, I thought about joining the Coast Guard because I figured, going after narcos and snorting a lot of cocaine sounds like a lot of fun, I will declare a national emergency at our southern border. I can't really do a Trump impression. Tim Pool, he can do a perfect Trump impression. He sounds exactly like him. All illegal entry will immediately be halted, and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came. We will reinstate my Remain in Mexico policy. I will end the practice of catch and release. That's a big one. And I will send troops to the southern border to repel the disastrous invasion of our country, Trump emphasized in his inauguration address. The president also announced that we will also be designating the cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. That gives more latitude to the executive branch, by the way, to tackle the issue. Constitutionally speaking, maybe a little bit of a workaround, but it is pragmatic. And by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, I will direct our government to use the full and immense power of our federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminal networks. And then you've got Drill Baby Drill, you've got an energy emergency, you've got the pardoning of the J6ers. We'll get into that in depth, actually, in a moment. Pablo Mil, a delayed happy birthday to you. That inaugural speech was awesome. My heart felt like an alligator. If your heart feels like an alligator, you got bigger problems than me. Thank you very much. Lemon Curd, wishing me happy birthday as well. Thank you. Let's see. Nell Kwan, happy late birthday, Sticks. Thank you. Clem Semple, Christie lounged on the beach during state budget shutdown, not COVID lockdowns. Yes, I know that it was, I've had to re-clarify that several times because I misspoke the first time I covered it. NYBSFP, what would prevent Trump from blanket pardons to anyone who ignores Biden's blanket pardons? The system is literally broken. It's been broken for a long time. Senor Faces, Trump and Elon drink water and pee on a toilet. You know who also drank water and peed on a toilet? The bad man of World War II. Thanks, you YouTube censorship. Taco Woman Sandy Ravage, Sticks, there's a snow... Oh, you already posted that. Yeah, I caused that. I take credit for it. And I take glee in it. Kilowatt, happy belated birthday to my favorite creator. You got one of the best gifts ever with Trump. Here's to the next 4 years of greatness. I will keep cranking it out, and Trump will keep cranking it out. The Emperor's Champion, glad we made it to this glorious day. There were times I thought Biden would start a nuclear war, that people would be dumb enough to re-elect him. Yeah, once he dropped out, it was pretty clear what was going to happen in the election. Thankfully. Apache, they speak Spanish at home, engage in Mexican culture at home, and are only here to extract resources. Being born and raised here doesn't make them American. I disagree. I married a Mexican woman. I lived in a Mexican-sourced family, and they were hyper-patriotic, especially her father. She had no specific love for her home country or anything like that. She considered herself an American, and also was really nice. I mean, well, our marriage fell apart, but, you know, beyond that, she was highly intelligent, spoke English generally. You know, some Spanish was spoken, but it was mostly in English. And they were nice people, you know, by and large. And food, by the way. Oh, God. Yeah. Where do you think I learned to cook tacos? Cultivated Mind. Can't stay long, Sticks. We are drinking our chaga cacao and building a snowman down here in Houston. First snow in 5 years. Cultivated-mind.com. I'll be shouting you out in a few minutes. Coffee Slayer, a stick stream. Now that's what I'm talking about. Clank. I got my own coffee here. Ah. Jam and Bean. Yeah, they'll be getting a shout out too. Reason for that. Mostly because I drink it all the time. Wikipedia Intellectual. What is the brand of your gothy boots? Yeah, my gothy boots. I'm actually not 100% sure. Verilas. Wear with honor. Yeah. 11.5 Yeah, so you can, oh, shit. That's what the boots are. Wear them all the time. They seem to be pretty sturdy. They're standing up to the Vermont weather. Apparently, Vermont weather is better than Louisiana weather at the moment. How, what a coincidence. Emperor Soft Turtle. Birthright citizenship is like mail-in voting. Inherently not a problem, but people abused it, and now it needs a crackdown on, especially with concepts like anchor babies. Yeah, that's really the problem. It's like leniency should be used whenever possible. But then inevitably people realize that there is that leniency, and then they fuck around with it. It's a problem. The Grizzly, did you see CNN talking about deportation? Who will pick our crops? Like it's 1846 again. Man, it's like the Confederacy never surrendered. I love that when white NIMBYist liberals say something like, who will pick the apples? Who will pick the tomatoes? You know, who's going to be our slave? Yeah, you're really making a name for yourself. Privateer of the East, what are your thoughts on Fetterwoman? Despite the cringe takes, do you think he is working close with the Trump admin to make Pennsylvania great again? Fetterman is like Bill Maher. That is, that he's a broken clock. He's right twice a day. Don't put any faith in him to be anything other than a lay liberal. But at the same time, occasionally he has a good take. When he does, pat him on the head. You know, you'll have to reach up a little bit because he's 6'7", like the quartering is. But you know, praise him when he does a good job, and otherwise he's just a lay liberal. Garrett, today is the beginning of SHOT Show. Check it out. Sounds fun. Lemon Kurt, Sticks, didn't you love the photo of Zuck gaping at Bezos' wife's tatas? Yeah, I think that somebody might be a little bit on the jealous side with that one. Tony the Greaser, gotta get yourself a pair of 1950s engineers. Also recently hit 10K on Insta. Stay cool, stay confident, stay greasy. Garant, okay, Donnie. He said he'd tell us about the UAVs today, so do it. An Epstein list release that today as well. That I don't think is in his authority, actually. JFK and MLK as well. I voted to bring the Johns to justice, so do it. It'll take him a while. Those things that are in his power, he's going to do, but it might take a few days. So just be a little bit patient. I know a lot of people, they expect Donald Trump to do literally everything on day one. It's like at some point he has to sleep. He can't do literally everything. It's not physically possible. He couldn't even sign a piece of paper over and over thousands of times. You know, it's like, have you seen those? By the way, we were talking about the military. Have you seen those Marine Corps videos where the recruits have to take a piece of paper and hold it up in front of them? And sometimes they're like, oh, and laying down. And the drill sergeant will come along and say basically like, it's a piece of paper. It doesn't weigh anything. Hold it up. But the thing is that your arms also have weight as well. And it's basically just to drive them down. Because even a really strong person is not going to be able to hold up a piece of paper endlessly. Eventually, it will start to lower down, and then you will get yelled at. That's the whole fucking point. It's psyops. It's hilarious, too. By the way, unfortunately, my really, really cool sunglasses got damaged the other day. One of the sides came loose, so I have to get new sunglasses later. I'm very sad about that. I liked that. I liked that pair. Yeah, I mean, that's basically the only thing we've got to talk about today. Trump signs a shit ton of executive orders. He has laid waste to the Biden administration. Basically removed it from history when you think about it. And then Elon Musk gets called a Nazi because he says, my heart goes out to you. But he posed his hand wrong, so it looked a little bit like a Bellamy salute. Beer wagon. A piece of paper. I had to hold my foot locker out like that while doing a wall sit. Yeah. No, but one of the pieces of training, I think it's psychological. The idea is this is literally just a piece of paper. But you are weak. We will make you strong. You are going to become a U.S. Marine. And so they have to hold it out in front of them for, I don't know, fucking hours probably. And eventually they begin to tire of it and then they get yelled at. The point of the Marines is no matter how good you are, you can be the strongest, most competent, best shot, everything else under the sun. You've got all of the qualifications, but they are still going to mentally break you down. That's the whole point. That's to build camaraderie. It's to put you in your place, to make sure that you can work with your comrades, basically. That's sort of the point of it's the psychological training is more important than the physical training. You don't have to be strong, but you have to try, in other words. That's basically the point of the U.S. Marines. It's unique in the world, along with, I guess, the Spetsnaz and probably the Israeli army, like the special forces. That's why they fight so well. Derek B says, clank. Emperor Soft Turtle, watching pro-establishment types and just not get it with J6 and Trump trails is insane. Oh, the Trump trials, I think you mean. Trump provably won the protect democracy vote. You lost the argument and the narrative. Yeah, the liberals have been lambasted at this point. Just absolutely crushed. They're having a breakdown right now, actually, which doesn't surprise me in the least. Ministry of Wrongthink, my heart goes out to you will be the new Chatelet. Yes, my heart goes out to you. I am Hitler. Adolf Hitler's heart goes out to you, you know? It makes absolutely no fucking goddamn sense. Ooh. I mean, yeah, Elon Musk, who's literally from Africa also, by the way, and a supposedly illegal immigrant. That's the other part. Supposedly he illegally immigrated to the United States, which didn't happen, violated his visa, but he's also Hitler. This makes a whole lot of sense. I was looking at that story when I first saw it. I couldn't even believe what I was reading. Yes, Heile Hitler. Supposedly that's Elon Musk. Again, somebody will trim that out and, you know, put it online. All right, let's get to our sponsors really quickly. We have cultivated-mind.com, where you can get all sorts of good stuff. Yeah, mushroom pills. I take them every morning. In full disclosure, I do actually use those. I ran out of the Radiant Energy. I've still got one of the refill packs, but I ran out of the original one. I sort of cycle them around. Like I'll take Radiant Energy, then I'll take the Immune Review, then I'll take the Brain Squared, and I sort of cycle them around because they all have a similar effect on energy, I've noticed. But you know, I like the different blends. I like to think that they're keeping me healthy, but keep me younger longer. So yeah. Then we have pumpkinfirecrafts.us. They have bookmarks available for the bibliophile in your life, which is very important for somebody like me. If you looked at my shelves, you would probably agree with me. Also, keychains, belt chains, engraved spoons you can clank along with the show, and glassware is available now as well. BuiltonUSA.com. Use code STICKS for 10% off. Anton can set you up with the good shit. He's got all sorts of crazy meat there. Cabanasi, we've got bison, all sorts of yummy things. And the Wagyu, by the way, the shredded one, goes in soup. It is absolutely perfect with some noodles. Wicked Needle Embroidery.bigcartel.com, where you can get stick, sex, and hammer hats. Several varieties are available. I thought I had one here, but as usual, unfortunately, I forgot it. HeritageHeirloomSeedCompany.com. You can get a seed survival bucket there. You can grow some squash like this, and they grew really well and fairly easily. For some reason, I seem to do well with squash. I'm not 100% sure why. You can also get Sticks, Hex, and Hammer soap there as well. 2 varieties are available. We've got a men's and a ladies, of course. websterswares.com/sticks-wares, where you can get blades, where you can accidentally cut yourself, beanies, an homage to Tim Pool, jackets, and much, much more. I think there are Sticks flags available as well. In fact, this flag behind me, which I'll be taking down tomorrow because it's after inauguration, actually came from them. And finally, jamandbean.com. Jam and Bean. Yeah. You gotta try their Clank Blam. It's the best coffee that I've ever had. Oh, and it smells delicious. Just saying. It's not just because it's my own personal blend. It's also because it is good quality. I will never advertise anything that I wouldn't use myself. Jam and Bean, I have no problem shouting them out. Wish I could rip it open and just start chomping down on the coffee grounds. Some people are mentioning the ACLU. What's happening with them? I think they sued over the deportation EO, if I remember correctly. Was it the deportation EO? BW, yay, almost a blanket pardon. Sticks, I hope Ukraine ends soon. Trump is already keeping his promises. Yeah, no, he's kept like 50% of his promises in the first 24 hours. So I have hope for the administration. I don't think he'll have any problems. One thing he's going to have a problem with, and this is something that we do need to discuss, is inflation. His attempt to reduce inflation, drill baby drill is great, bring the fuel prices down, etc. That will be helpful. Shipping prices and stuff like that. The problem is that inflation is a year-over-year metric. You are going to see over the next months the legacy media focus on either the regular inflation rate or the core inflation rate, blame it on Trump, use whichever metric is higher at the time, and attempt to cast it off as though he is responsible. Even though, because it's a year-over-year metric, it can't be helped. That's what they're going to do. It's completely formulaic. You know their plot right, a year ahead of time. I guarantee that they'll do that. BW, you think Greenland will be next? Lol. Good luck to the ACLU convincing SCOTUS that he can't deport illegals. Yeah, he can deport illegals, at least as long as Congress doesn't act to try to prevent it, which I don't think that they're going to do because the Republicans control the Senate. Although, don't put it past them. The Republicans are really self-destructive, so it's basically like watching a heroin addict or something like that. Yeah, no. This is My Heart Goes Out to You. This is the Nazi salute. There is a difference between these two, and the legacy media is pretending that there is no difference. Oh my God, Elon Musk loves Adolf Hitler. Yeah, the dude born in Africa is a real big fan of the Austrian painter, I'm sure. Is it because he's white or because he supported Donald Trump? The world may never know. It's retarded, literally. This is more of a Bellamy salute, if it's a salute at all. Elon Musk did nothing wrong. Agreed. Molten salt. Nobody does the hand thing after the heart goes out, though. Yeah, but you got to realize also he's a little bit of a spurg. And this is something that people need to understand. I mean, he's literally got a prescription for ketamine because of his problems. If he's a little bit awkward at times, he's not trying to be an ass or anything like that. And it certainly doesn't make him a fascist. Deutschland, Deutschland überaus. Die Fahne hoch. Die Reichen fest geschlossen. I'm a goddamn libertarian, and I'd probably be more geared towards that than Elon Musk. He's not a fucking fascist. He's not a fucking Nazi. John Hoyle, great birthday gift yesterday. Agreed. Happy birthday. Never felt so moved to see an inauguration. 'Twas the winter of our disconnect, made glorious summer by the sun of New York. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about, so I'm just basically responding to chat and rambling at this point. What else am I supposed to talk about? There's nothing else in the news. It does not exist. I suck at guitar. It's nice to finally have hope in the president being successful instead of expecting an outright failure. Let's hope he keeps this momentum for the next 4 years. We will be a motherfucking juggernaut. Yeah. Privateer of the East on Gen Alpha and the current zeitgeist. What are your predictions? The older ones are entering their rebellious ages now. Oh, they're going to be goddamn hellions. I have great expectations for Generation Alpha. My daughter's Gen Alpha. She's already a hellion. She's 2. She's a chip off the old block. Let me tell you that much. Oh, boy. You can see it in the eyes. If you think that I'm powerful and insane, just wait. Wait like the next 15 years. Those of you that are still alive shall live to see this horror. Sigilstone. Bill to eliminate taxes on overtime has already been introduced by Representative Fulcher of Idaho, the KEEP Act. Excellent. Yeah, Trump will sign it if it gets to his desk. The Republicans would be insane not to pass that. Overtime and tips. They should not be taxed in any way. If Trump accomplishes nothing else on the economy, that would be a huge boon to a lot of people that generally, like, let's say, who generally works overtime? Blue-collar workers. So they get like 50 hours a week because they need to make extra money. Don't tax it. Just fuck it. Who gets tips? People who are waitresses and waiters. They're not making a huge wage. If they're working at a really fancy schmancy restaurant, they might be making a decent amount of money. Once in a while, somebody like me comes through and drops them, a 30% tip. But generally speaking, it's not that much. Don't tax it. There's no reason to. I have to say on tipping, I realize that I run up against some people on the right on this. I tip very, very well. If you give me at least decent service, you're not getting less than 25%. That's just the way that I am. I know how it is to be poor. So I try to be accommodating. And by the way, if you tip well, especially on deliveries, you will get the next time your food faster. It will be hotter. It'll be better. And nobody's going to spit in your food because they're going to recognize your name. And they're going to be like, oh, shit. Yeah, this is the dude that gave me $30 the other day. Shit. Well, I best get the pizza to him really quick because they want to get that same tip again. You're incentivizing. Spike. Even if OT tax is reduced by 50%, it is a huge win. Oh, I think that he's eliminating them entirely. I agree with this. Imagine a world in which people can work and not be taxed on their labor at all. That sounds pretty good now, doesn't it? I wonder if that'll be extended to self-employment. Maybe I can just have like a 24-hour live stream of the cat sleeping or something like that, and they won't be able to tax it. That would be funny. Molotulo. Tipping is blackmail. I don't eat food that other people touch or spit in. I disagree. I think that the idea of being able to give somebody money because they've given you good service voluntarily, you don't have to tip, is perfectly acceptable. Now, do I believe that people serving food, etc., should be given a living wage? Yes. In an ideal world, yes. I tip very, very well. If I come to your restaurant, you're getting a good tip unless you fuck up. Unless there's something absolutely terrible about the service, I will give a very good tip. It starts at 25%. If you're really good, it goes up from that. I don't know. I just, Sertorius, a waitress slapped me once. I tipped her extra. Oh my. Sigil, 1000% tax on fursuits. We can eliminate the degeneracy. I think we need to eliminate as many taxes and regulations as possible. Baby eating Biden. I always get my pizza piping hot. Yeah, see, I've ordered to Domino's locally multiple times, and they know my name. And so when I order from them, it usually comes early because I tip well. It always comes hot and fresh. If you tip low, then you run into the problem of, oh shit, my pizza's cold. Oh, it's 10 minutes late and stuff like that. And also, these people, you got to understand, don't make a living wage, not even close to it. They rely upon tips. And so I'm like, fuck it. I want my fucking pizza. I need it. By the way, the Rutland Domino's is one of the few Domino's in the country that actually makes good pizza. I know it has a relatively poor reputation in some places. The Rutland Domino's, though, I will vouch for them. Same with our Burger King. Yeah, you can tip electronically and it gets taxed, but I think Trump is attempting to eliminate that. You can also give cash too. In the Netherlands, it's almost always cash. That's the funny part. They've got stores there that are electronic only, but then you tip in cash. You just hand them a 10 spot or something like that. Yeah, this conversation has gone off the rails into a rant because there's nothing to talk about but, things about Trump. Amy in Connecticut. Jesus, Sticks. Cat cans. Papa John's. Best shitty pizza, worst service. I have never had Papa John's. Not once in my life. Ramon C. GTC. I love hot honey pepperoni pizza. You put honey on your pizza? I like pineapple on pizza. I tried banana on pizza. I'm not sure honey goes on pizza. I would try it at least once. I mean, it's still pizza, right? And it doesn't really matter. FEMA pizza. Yeah, I've never had Papa John's. I think. Pizza Hut used to be great back in the day, back in the 90s. They've kind of petered out. Domino's is usually not great, but here the Domino's is wonderful. Little Caesars is usually like mid, but the one here, it's kind of dry. Like once it cools off, it's no longer any good at all. But some people eat it anyway. We've also got Cara Mia's. Now, Cara Mia's is good. There's nothing wrong with it. That's a local pizza place. They're pretty good, but it's still ironically not as good as Domino's. Emperor Soft Turtle. People don't remember Snoop Dogg had a major reversal on Trump because Trump's criminal justice reforms got his friends out of jail. Candy Stuffed Corpse. Hey, Sticks, what's Liber 333 about? It is satanic literature, terroristic in nature. Most people probably would not like this particular book. Just saying. I put it back there because I was making a video that was connected with the medics and things like that. Yeah, if you can get a copy, I mean, I don't know if it's still available. Just a sec. Let's see. False Prophet by the Temple of Blood. Yeah, you've got let me put it, one of my books is down there related, actually. That's not a surprise. No, it's literally terrorist literature. It's definitely, it's not for the faint of heart. But yeah, if you can find a copy of it by the Temple of Blood, you should get one. Die Schwarzkrieg. Gary Gensler, the SEC chair, is resigning and extremely bullish for all of crypto, especially XRP. Nice. Yeah, that's the 21 satanic statements of Conrad Robery should be used as a catechism for every neonate. If not memorized, they should be at least meditated upon. Choose one statement for each day of the month and meditate on one statement a day. After several months, the import of these statements will begin to sink in, and you will find yourself applying the lessons which are taught within the statements. If you have not so already, find a form of music available which embodies for you atmospheres which you would consider appropriate to the sinister path. That is the left-hand path, by the way. This should be the music that moves you and brings forth thoughts of darkness, chaos, and evil. Music of a past age, medieval or Victorian music, for example, can be of aid in establishing a non-linear mode of conception. It's a psyop, by the way, when dealing with the dark gods and the undead. The key here is to use appropriate props which will allow you to march to the beat of your own drum and begin shedding the natural herd mentality or follow the leader, which exists in undeveloped human society. This is effectively an empowerment work more than anything else, but it is also terroristic in nature, literally, which is probably why it's not commercially available. Yeah, really good though, really good read. Oh, I see Anton's there. That's another way of self-improvement. King of Biltong. Increase your protein intake with some great tasting meat snacks. Biltong is packed with B12, creatine, iron, zinc, and more. Get some at biltongusa.com. Use code STICKS for 10% off. By the way, delicious. The shaving ones, like the bison, the wagyu, those go in soups and stuff like that. The ones that are more stick form, like the Angus, the Carbonasi, those are the ones you shove them in your pocket, you go hiking. Cast a spell, LMAO. Did that last night. Now Louisiana is going to get a foot of snow. Again, what a coincidence. Oh, your deputy AG decided to blow his head off in his own office, and then you got a foot of snow while we avoided the nor'easter? What a coincidence. Amy in Connecticut. Sticks, did you hear about the border agent killed on the job yesterday in Vermont? No, I didn't. If you DM me on Twitter, yeah, I can do that. Yes, biltong is absolutely delicious. I've still got several bags in the mini fridge in my room. I decided to get a mini fridge. Heather Nikki, Sticks hair is so gorgeous. I'm jealous. Now, you need to see Hannah Claire's hair. I think she outdoes me on that one. It's nice. I mean, it's floofy and long. Richard Reynolds, the best pizza ever. LA Roma's in Rome, New York. Bullshit. Pizza Luna in New Orleans has literally the best pizza ever. It used to be Leonardo's in Burlington, Vermont. Oh my God, it's good. Before that, Pizza Chef in Woodstock. I don't know if they're still there. I think they swapped it out for a liquor store, actually. But no, Pizza Luna, if you ever get down to New Orleans, get Pizza Luna. Just trust me on this one. This is definitely authentically Italian in every way. Absolutely incredible pizza. Yeah, Hannah Claire is adorable. She's got nice, soft, poofy hair. Sigil Stone, casting spells or aspersions. Yeah, I like my usual co-host. She's fun to talk to. She's always talking about my hair, and I'm like, your hair looks better than mine. An illegal on I-91 in Coventry. He's dead. Took out a border cop. Front page WCAX. I'll have to look that up. Just a sec. Vermont Border Patrol death. Okay, I'll docket that for tomorrow. Hinkle, ending birthright citizenship in exchange for amnesty for any non-violent criminal immigrants who paid taxes seems like a fair exchange. No, I would say it would be better to simply focus on deporting people who have engaged in criminal conduct other than illegally crossing. Do that first. That's the first step. That will take years to accomplish. Meanwhile, you're building your border wall to prevent, additional illegal crossings. So someone's trafficking, someone's bringing in fentanyl, somebody has done a bunch of other crazy shit, unless it's like some minor offense, like, oh, you jaywalked, and nobody cares. That's what you do first. You focus on them. Then you focus on any other group that you want to. But I don't believe in amnesty for illegals. I believe that there should be a path to citizenship, but it's one that would be a hard path. And by design. Look at what legal immigrants, for example, have to go through to get to the United States and become citizens. Okay, you show up in the United States. You're a student. You join the military. Whatever you happen to be doing, you're working. Years and years go by. You meet with a lawyer over and over. You meet with immigration officers over and over. You have to take time out of your schedule to do literally fucking anything. You don't have the right to vote. You don't have the right to bear arms, etc., etc., etc. Years go by, and then you get residency. Oh, thank God. I'm allowed to reside in the country. I mean, I still can't vote or own a gun or anything like that, but at the very least, I've got conditional permanent residency. As long as you don't fuck up years and years later with more paperwork and more lawyers and everything else, then you can petition to get your green card and try to gain citizenship. That's what you have to go through. The legal process is completely goddamn onerous. I know. I was married to an immigrant. I was married to a Mexican. My second wife was fucking Dutch. The process is extremely extensive. Most people don't understand this. The idea of, oh, you have popped out an anchor baby on U.S. soil, so it makes it easier. No, that means that you're allowed to remain in the country. That's the only thing that it means. You ain't voting. You don't have any rights. You're treated like a second-class citizen because you're not a citizen at all. That's the way that it works. I feel sorry for legal immigrants. Focus on the cartels and shit like that first. Get to everything else later. Ramon C. GTC. Why ancient gods demanded human sacrifice? Because they wanted to drink their blood, probably. Stephen Franco. Do you still make new tech exclusives on BitChute? Yeah, I make a BitChute exclusive every day. Sometimes it doesn't fully upload. There have been a few issues because they've been retooling the site. You got to realize they're moving back to into the United States, so there have been a few tech issues. Sigil, amnesty to claw back some sovereignty? Where does that end as our rights are continuously eroded? Just endless rounds of amnesty every time some injustice is passed? Did you enjoy that cake I DM'd you? I saw your candy corn cake, and I am disappointed, son. But yeah, I do not believe in blanket amnesty. I think there are certain small groups of people in the country that are technically here illegally who should be granted amnesty, but by and large, people will need to go through the legal immigration process to stay here. and several million people need to be outright deported and blocked from the country. That's my belief. No, more than several million. You came to the country legally. That is forgivable because prior administrations did nothing to stop you. If you did anything in this country that was illegal while you were here and is meaningful, I believe that you should simply be helicoptered. If you didn't, I believe there should be a process towards residency, or potentially. It depends on what kind of person it is, actually. If you did nothing wrong and you serve the country, you got a degree, you're intelligent, you're at the top echelon, something like that, I would say, we'll make a deal. We build the wall and deport everyone else and admit a couple of million people into the country as actual residents. You may not get permanent citizenship, though. Permanent residency without the right to vote, perfectly fine. And of course, some of these people do have children that are U.S. citizens. That's what I would do. Lou Ferrigno. No, Sticks, I would put you in a camp for saying that. Yeah, there are some people that should be helicoptered. Like those Venezuelan gang members that took over several apartments in multiple cities in Colorado. There are worse things you could do. You know, the best thing about helicoptering someone, you can drop them out of the helicopter, or you can just force them up into the blades, you know? If somebody has genuinely served the country, they've learned English, they've learned the way, they've been here for fucking 15 years or something like that, and they've done nothing otherwise criminal, I do not want to deport them. I don't think that it's necessary. But the thing is, that's a small minority of the people that are illegally in the country. Many of them are newcomers. Some of them are drug smugglers, cartel members, militia members. They've done terrible things. There are many children among them. I mean, I don't want to disenfranchise them. Trump has suggested simply deport the person with their child. The problem is, under our Constitution, it's not 100% clear whether you can do that. So, again, that has to wait. You need to focus on drug smugglers, human traffickers, people like that, terrorists. You need to focus on that first. And if Trump only deports those individuals and then the wall goes up, it'll still be, I mean, a huge improvement over the current border now, won't it? So it doesn't really matter. A blindside whammy. Build the wall out of the corpses of illegals. Well, there aren't quite enough illegals to cover the whole border, but all right. Please send no more super chats, by the way, because let's see. Richard Reynolds. Oh, I'm not shouting out your pizza again. Rodney, here's a penny towards keeping the lights on at Sticks HQ. Thank you very much. Thankfully, the sun is coming back. We're marching on past the what's it called? Non-equinox, the solstice. OMG Puppies. Paul Christian's The History and Practice of Magic is interesting. Written in the early 1800s, Bagardi has a book on the Golden Dawn. Aleister Crowley was a con man, but his novels are kind of good. I've read thousands and thousands of volumes of occult literature, and some of them are, in fact, I should probably do another book show-off video. Maybe I'll do volume 4 of that. Hinkall, ending birthright citizenship in exchange for amnesty for any non-violent criminal immigrants who paid taxes seems like a fair exchange. Wait, didn't I already? Oh, for some reason, I think I skipped OMG Puppies comment. Wait, I was reading through them again. I gave you a couple of extras here, but for some reason, I skipped OMG Puppies, I think. All right, well, whatever. Yeah, I'll add that Vermont Border Patrol video, I think, to the docket for tomorrow. Let's see if it's already archived. Sometimes, thanks in part to my popularization efforts, sometimes it's already archived. Invalid URL. Oh, that's because I'm... What? How did I end up doing that? All right, well, you go up. Styx is old now. His mind is going, says Sigil. Your mind was gone a long time ago, though. You're obsessed with poop and with candy corn. It's the candy corn. That's the problem. Yeah, people are encouraging me to do a book show off. Okay, I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do a book show off. We'll have to talk, I guess, about the Border Patrol agent killed here in Vermont, unfortunately. And we're obviously going to have something Trump-related. He'll probably sign more executive orders this afternoon. He's probably doing it literally right now. That'll be the main docket. I'll go live with Jeremy at 1. I don't know if I'm going to do my own live stream tomorrow, though, because of how tired I am more than anything else. My mind is still here. It's my marbles I've lost. Dude popped a membrane years ago. By the way, something, this is a little bit of a weird thing. For all of you who have played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the PS2 version, when you went into the barber shop with Ryder and you got your haircut, did you ever have a time, I might be imagining this, did you ever have a time where he doesn't say that your haircut sucks and he's like, oh, I guess the old man still got it going on, or something like that? Did that ever happen to you, or am I fucking imagining it? Because I could have sworn during one of my playthroughs, Ryder actually complimented my haircut. Please tell me that I wasn't hallucinating, because I have no goddamn clue. I know this has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with my normal news or anything like that. But I absolutely must know if anyone else had that experience. I could have sworn that Ryder said something like, well, I guess the old man still got it going on, or something like that. Normally he says, oh, he popped a membrane years ago, and he says, oh, you look like shit, basically. I could have fucking sworn that happened once. Mystery 1, Rumu.space. Did it work? Tried to send money. I have no clue. I don't know what that is. Yeah, normally when you go into the barber shop with Ryder, you know, the one that is a sellout, normally he says, you know, basically it looks like shit. But one time he said it looked good. Kilowatt, yes, he says, I take it all back. Old man still got it. Okay, confirmed. I wasn't hallucinating. I was right. Huns with guns, yes, if you change your haircut. Now, one time it happened when I got the original haircut, because I only got it cut once. Stephen Franco, just wanted to say thank you and love you for all your work. Been listening to you for 8 years. That's a long-term clank. Jenny Simon, literally the one riddle I can't solve is natural flavors unless it's green and soylent. President-elect, what you talking about, Willis? Sigil, Ryder says both lines. He says old Reese popped his membrane before you get your haircut, and then he says he's still got it cracking. No, normally afterwards, I think he calls it whack, usually. But one time when I did it, I got the haircut, And he's like, oh, old man still got it going on, or something like that. Bystander syndrome, Mandela effect. We've jumped timelines again. I wonder what changed. Yeah, apparently I brought a blizzard to Louisiana. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry if you're in the Southeast. I can't direct the magic completely. It's chaos magic. Zhang Hyuk. What you talk about, Willis? I get the reference. Mama, you better not go back to New Orleans. I may be forced to, but it's not entirely clear. Whatever. Look, I don't give a shit. Oh shit, we've been live for more than an hour. I sort of lost track of time here. I was having fun. Lemon curd. Still sticks. Admit it's chagrinable that it is snowing in NOLA. Yeah, again, what a coincidence. Mirror from the Matrix. Neville or Sam the Skunk Man? I don't know. I don't have an opinion. So anyway, I'm going to go offline. I will be open for business again tomorrow. I thank you to the over 4,000 people who tuned in live cross-platform. I will be doing more spells later, of course. Apparently, the last one worked better than expected, and so it's going to be hysterical. By the way, Oscar, I don't need a pardon. I mean, look, it's a misdemeanor case, and it's New Orleans. You know, come on vacation, leave on probation comes to mind. I'm not particularly worried. Oh, Angela Sky, Clank from Hawaii. I barely caught the live stream. I'm so happy that Trump is back. God bless America. Yeah, I'm happy too, for multiple reasons. Donald Trump, I think, has done better in less than 24 hours than Joe Biden did in 4 years. He's certainly more transformative in that same period of time. He must have had the papers all ready to go. He just had his marker and scribbles on him or something like that. So yeah, I'm going to go offline. I'm going to do a little bit of searching for news. I've got the Border Patrol thing. There's obviously going to be more Trump news, and I'll round it out. And so then we'll do the thing. BW, now if only you could give the lefties a brain and a heart, a la Wizard of Oz. Well, they have a bleeding heart. It's just they lack a brain. It's rather sad. That's about all. Peace out.